How's it going, everybody? Thanks so much for watching. We'd like to take a second to thank this week's sponsor, Midwestern Spookster. Midwestern Spookster is an online store aiming to provide affordable fashion to the casual gothic and alternative folks out there. The store is size, gender, race, and religion inclusive. If you're looking for some new apparel and houseware goods like mugs and blankets, Midwestern Spookster got you covered. Though they're still up and coming, like all of us here at Unsigned Pop Punk love to help support and promote, the owner of Midwestern Spookster is hard at work to get its name stuck in your brain and make some new friends in the process. Give them a follow on Instagram at Midwestern Spookster and pick up some new stuff now at www.midwesternspookster.com. New things are being added all the time. Thanks so much, everyone. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, guys, it's Monday, which means you know exactly what time it is. It's time for another episode of your favorite mediocre podcast. Nathan,
where did
Tracy,
all my friends go?
Listen here, Nathan Tracy. I know that you're listening to this, my man, and I will quiz you on it when it comes out. I know you're listening. So I hope that you're enjoying either your drive to work or just your time with Davina. I love you, man. You're awesome. And yeah, this is just gonna be a little quick test here. But today we had an amazing guest by the name of Colin from the band Promise Game. Now they're from New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, yeah.
New Hampshire.
Oh,
that's so sick.
New Hampshire.
And dude, he's fun to talk to. And the best part about podcasts like these is when you find somebody who shares like such a similar, I don't, for lack of a better term, wavelength as you do. You're connecting on that that level, and it's fucking awesome. But
oh yeah,
one thing we're going to say here before we dive into the podcast: if you see a local show around you, check out the show, be a part of the scene. You don't have to be playing music to be a part of the scene. Go check it out. It's amazing. If you live in the New England area or the New Hampshire area, there's a good chance that you're going to catch Promise Game at a local show. So make sure that you guys are sticking around to support the scene. And with that,
before that though, I want to say if you get this, if you hear this, if you're at a show and you're taking pictures and you're posting on social media, tag us. We want to see it.
Yeah,
we want to see you at the show.
Yeah, and you can tag us anywhere at Unsigned Pop Punk. We want to see you at the show. Oh man, that should be a new segment, guys. That's sick. Oh my god. while we're recording, I don't even care. This is gonna throw us for a loop. From here on out, let's try to remember this.
Yeah.
Tag us, and we'll see you at the show. Tag Unsigned Pop Punk. Fuck, this is cool as hell. Why am I getting jazzed about this? I want to see all you at the local shows. For anybody that follows us, or if you're in a band, or if you're in the scene, or if you just want to see a show or music or whatever you're trying to do. Tag us. We want to see you at the show. With that, let's welcome Colin and his band Promise Game. Welcome back to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. And today, guys, we have Colin Vanderberg from the band Promise Game. From New Hampshire.
There you go.
So
I actually am from New York, though. I'm from Syracuse. I'm from Syracuse.
You know, I kind of like
area.
I look at your face and I go, that guy's from New York.
Yeah, I'm from Syracuse.
So Colin, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's great to have you. Who's this dude?
This
30 seconds in and the boy comes in.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Can I please play a Nintendo?
No, you may not play the Nintendo.
Oh,
Why
no.
not?
I appreciate
Uh-oh.
it. Well, we haven't done our chores. That's why.
Oh,
well,
shoot.
Yeah. Now you
Oh,
got
shoot. Chores.
No,
I
we'll
mean,
do our
that's
chores
fair.
later
That's
tonight.
fair.
Okay.
All right. I love you.
Later, dude.
Oh,
Give me some more food because I'm still hungry.
more food because you're still hungry?
Yeah.
That Happy Meal wasn't enough?
Dude, growing boy. Growing man.
No, there are blackberries in the fridge. You can have some.
There you go. Good. Look at that. Good
Super fruit.
food
Yeah,
choices.
boom. He's like super fruit. Let's go.
My son would have immediately been like, "Can I have 5 or 6 fruit snacks?"
Yeah, I don't.
No,
I
you
don't-
can have 2. How about
man.
5 or 6?
How about
That's
5?
awesome.
He's in the negotiating phase.
How old is he?
4. He's almost 5.
4. awesome.
Should we restart it or just keep it going?
No,
No,
keep it
dude, that's
going.
awesome. I mean,
cool.
I love kids. I don't have any, but I love kids.
Do you want mine?
It's easy to love them when you don't have them.
Exactly. I get to give them back to their, like, I have a godson, love him to death. He's 10. One of my best friend's kid, dude. It's great because I get to drop him off. It's awesome.
Yeah. I wanted to be a dad. Turns out I wanted to be a fun uncle, you know?
There you go. That's me. That's what I'm always Uncle Colin to everybody's kids. So it's great. It's awesome.
Nice.
Dude,
It's awesome.
I love being a dad. Being a dad is so freaking cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, just watching this kid grow up. And like we've had him on like episodes before.
He's made himself be had on the show
That's
too.
so cool.
Right.
That's
Like
awesome.
I didn't invite him, but like here
I
he
love
is,
that.
and he's so funny. He's
I love
such a
that.
personality.
Tell him he's welcome to hang with us, man. I love
He's
kids.
he's given. Well, see, here's the thing, Colin. You don't want to open up that can of worms because
all right. I'll let you guys decide.
When he comes on and he starts asking questions, you're done. You don't get to ask questions anymore. He's going to ask you questions and then he's going to stop you in the middle of those questions.
Yeah, he's 4. Right, you know, like a
Believe it or
boy.
not, Colin, his interviewing skills aren't fucking very good.
I would say that makes sense. he seemed like he kind of seemed like he was thinking about a lot of things at once. So I can see how that
kind of a shitty co-host, okay?
Oh man.
Quit it. This is my boy.
Hey, hold on.
No, he's good.
He's still got a chance. He's only
coming.
4. He's fine.
Oh, is he working on them blackberries?
Yeah, and then we got to get that Fiji water because
Oh, jeez.
Bougie.
You are so bougie, dude. Jeez, dude.
That's bouge right there.
Yeah. You know what my kids drink for water? Fucking tap water. However, to be fair, I am from Duluth, Minnesota, where we have like the best tap water in America, basically.
yeah, and
That's awesome.
And my kid has what's called a palate.
You need me to bring you some Duluth tap water, bud?
I kind of want
The
it.
dude just ate McDonald's, and I'm sitting here like, he's got a refined palate. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, that chicken.
It's
those
just
chicken
water
nuggets
he
were
doesn't
doesn't have
kid
to
ate-
pour.
It's like that kid ate fucking chicken nuggets with no
Yeah, exactly.
sauce, too.
No sauce.
sauce.
No, like a
No.
savage.
My boy ordered a cheeseburger with pickles and ketchup.
Dang, son.
That's
See,
kind of a hot order. That's not terrible.
my boy is 9 and he still won't fuck with ketchup. Like he's
Really?
like,
What?
he will eat corn dogs dry.
What?
Dry.
That is, yo, you got a problem.
So this is no longer a podcast about music. This is a
Dude.
podcast
Yeah,
about
we have
eating
to-
corn dogs
yeah, we-
dry.
No,
We're gonna
so
You
have to get
raw
to the
dog
bottom
corn dog?
dude, no, not only that, dude, he will hot dogs dry. Hot dog and
That's-
bun, no cheese. Like
telling
he
you.
would, I would if I was going dry, I'd throw cheese or something.
Gotta keep
This,
an eye on
your
yourself.
kid's not okay.
Keep an eye on yourself.
he's-
Keep an eye on him.
He,
We don't need no documentary coming up.
He
Someday about your kid.
like he doesn't fuck with ketchup at all, and like
Oh,
for
that's crazy.
no, and for burgers, so we trick because he's like, I don't like burgers because obviously you eat burgers with ketchup because you're not
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
But like, so in order to get him to start eating burgers, we made him pizza burgers. So it's a hamburger with pepperoni on it and then
Oh,
marinara
God.
sauce. And boy, he will eat the shit out of that. He'll eat
So
the
wait,
red
he likes
sauce.
marinara, he likes
Yeah.
tomato and all that, but he doesn't like ketchup.
Won't eat ketchup.
Before we continue, I just want to say, may the 4th be with you.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. Hey,
And
guys,
also with you.
beautiful.
And
What
also
a
with
day.
you, and also with your spirit.
With,
No.
with you.
I wore my Star Wars shirt today.
That a boy. Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see. I couldn't really read it before. Now I can. That's awesome. I love that.
My other one.
You got a lightsaber going
Is
too?
this
Some
his,
bullshit? Like,
this
what-
probably his Boba Tea?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Shirt.
sick. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
His Boba Fett drinking Boba Tea.
Yeah.
That's a baller shirt. I love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you. I
Tough
have,
choice on
I
which
have
one to
no
wear for sure.
taste. Right? Like I have no taste.
Oh, I was gonna
it's
say you
just
have
Star Wars.
impeccable taste.
Thank you. See, I think I
Yeah,
have
I like
taste.
your flow.
Like I
You
don't
got flow.
have taste to normal people. It's just Star Wars.
Yeah, you got flow. You're good.
That's all right, bud.
I got
That's all right.
flow. I got dude. I got flow. I got flow.
Oh
we should
shit!
probably get to the actual podcast, but this is really fun.
I know, but this has been fun. This is
awesome.
where this is what buds do.
This is what the people
buds
want to
do.
see. This is what the people want to hear.
Honestly,
Hell
it's
yeah.
probably
Fancy.
true.
It
Like, we
is.
should just,
We
say
should find
fuck it
out.
to
We
the
should do a
fuck
poll
it.
for no one to do. We should do.
Yeah.
We should take a poll for no one to answer.
Right.
We'll make a poll. We'll put it up there, and
We'll share
Colin will
it.
answer it.
We'll share it.
we'll just keep an eye on these analytics to see if people liked this one more.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go.
Just like, what did we do in this one? Nothing. Oh,
We didn't do shit. It was kind of like
we didn't ask
Seinfeld.
any of our questions. Impressive. Okay, good job, guys.
Oh, I love
So with
it.
that,
I love
Colin,
it.
Promise
Yeah, let's
Game
get it going.
formed
Hey.
in early 2020, in the middle of the pandemic.
Yes.
We've talked about this a few times on the show now, but
Yeah.
what's it like starting a band midst lockdowns and quarantine?
Dude, it was crazy. So we started like it was weird. It was like not COVID yet. It was right at the beginning, right? It was like I think we all went to like a Silverstein show too, like right before COVID, or it was a Point North show, whatever it was. But like we were just getting started.
two
And
very
then-
different bands.
I know. I can't remember which one it was.
I can't
think
remember
it
which one.
okay,
Silverstein,
Here's
Point
what it was. No. Here's what it was. I went to Point North, and then I had to sell my ticket where my entire band went to Silverstein like 2 nights later to the dude that did the saxophone solo in our "If It Makes You Happy" cover, actually.
Oh,
Nice.
So he had a really fun night because he had a baby like 2 weeks later, so it was a good send off for him.
good.
But yeah. So, anyways, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I totally forgot what I was just gonna say.
mid-pandemic.
Oh yeah, so it was mid-pandemic. So like we just started, and then I'm a hypochondriac. I've been using hand sanitizer since 2012. So when it ran out, it really fucking sucked because I was like, I need it, like just for things for me. But so I kind of I and a couple other band members weren't like super into just jumping right into being around each other when nothing was really, we didn't know what was really going on. So we took a break. Like we definitely took a good decent sized break. At this point we were kind of just screwing around doing like pop punk covers of like 90s songs anyways. Like we were doing As Long As You Love Me by Backstreet Boys. We were doing Don't Look Back in Anger. Yeah. We were doing Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis and stuff like that. Yeah. So we were just like screwing around to see if we were gonna be like, are we just gonna be a band that like maybe puts a record together for our pop punk friends to listen to, and then that's it, or and then when we started playing all these covers, we're like, shit, we're not bad, like we're actually pretty good, so we might as well just start writing some music. So we were like writing music kind of through the internet, essentially. Like our guitar player, he's pretty much our songwriter. He does a lot of the lyrics. And he'll kind of just, when he writes his lyrics, he'll put like a very simple kind of chord progression behind it.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of doing that a lot. Like, and we're like, oh, this is cool. So then we kind of landed on what we wanted to do for a set of songs for an EP. And then when things kind of opened up, like they weren't opening up, but in the summer at least, they got a little less lax, or got more lax.
Right.
I mean, so, we were masked up in practice. Like, I'll tell you right now, as a singer, with a fucking mask on, it sucks. It's fucking terrible. It's not fun. Like I like to sing high notes too, and and hold them. It's like impossible to do it in a mask. So that kind of sucked. And my glasses would always fog up too.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking terrible. So it was kind of like a pain in the ass.
The
but
things we do for safety.
Exactly. Especially as like a hypochondriac, like, and my wife was like, I can't even let you're letting these guys in the house. Like when Ebola was a thing, I canceled the party because Ebola was like kind of in the US, and I canceled the party. Like that's how like a hypochondriac I am, right? So
no,
anyways.
but that's safe though. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you're not only trying
COVID,
to be safe
yeah.
for yourself,
I mean, I'm
but safe
definitely
for
gonna make
everybody.
fun of you for the Ebola thing.
Yeah, no, as you
Like-
should. That's why I brought it up.
but
because
like,
it's fucking
with
ridiculous.
but like with COVID, like let's be real.
It was unknown, right?
But yeah,
Yeah.
It was
and so
unknown,
that was the
and it
thing.
was killing
Yeah,
millions of people.
yeah, big time. And I knew some people that were getting really sick. I know people that passed from it, and it was like crazy. So anyways, we got, like I said, summer kind of kicked up, and we started getting more, into it, and we wrote the EP. And then, the EP came out in 2021 in February. So that was like, it was kind of, or February or March, yeah, whatever it was. It was all around that time, right? And, it was kind of a waiting game. Like we didn't play any shows at all.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like no one was doing, and we weren't established to do live streams. Like nobody knew who the hell we were, right? Like we were brand new, and when we came in very new to this. Like, so we're all pretty old. I'll speak for myself. I'm 35. We have a 36-year-old in the band. We have a 34-year-old whose brother is 31 or 32. I don't know how old he is. So we're older, elder emos, they call us, right? Whatever it is. So we hadn't really done music for most of us 10 years. Our drummer was in a band that used to tour and stuff like that. And he played a couple Warped Tours and things like that. But other than that, nobody had ever done really anything other than small bands. Like my claim to fame was I played with And Then There Were None, and I played a show with Chiodos. Like that's my claim to fame. Like before I was
tight, though. Chiodos.
Yeah, and I think yeah, and this was like when they were Chiodos Bros. So this was like well before All's Well That Ends Well too. So this was, but anyways, so the point of that is nobody really knew what the hell we were doing when we started this. So we were basically starting fresh. We did as much research as we can on releasing music in this new digital world and things like that. And we learned a lot with that first EP, and unfortunately COVID, like that's the whole point of this question. We had no way to really promote it other than online, and we didn't have a following. You know what I mean? Like some bands were able to just kind of take advantage of COVID a little bit, I think. Like not, and that's a very weird thing to say. I'm not saying that in bad taste at all.
To capitalize.
Capitalize.
Yeah.
They were able to capitalize on what they've already built in their brand and their actual following, so that when this happened, they were like, okay, we can hit the ground running here. We can go. We can do what we need to do, and we can still get by. Like when we released our EP, it was like, hey, we're Promise Game. What's going on? Like,
what do we do now? Yeah.
And we grinded, and we fucking grinded. Like that's all we did. We just
and I think that's really
hard
hard too, as you're saying, because like you're trying to get your foot in the door when all the doors are closed right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it was the time of creating new doors,
Right,
and that
right.
and that was like the thing of like,
Opening
well, what do we do?
window.
And how do we do that? You know what I mean?
Live streaming from your living room kind of thing. But and this might be stupid, and maybe I'm just stupid, but like I feel like, and again I could be wrong, but I feel like those kinds of ideas, like you have to think outside of the box.
You do, because that's the thing. Everybody was doing the same thing. Everybody was doing the same thing.
And they were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But with that, I feel like it takes being seasoned of what the box is to understand what thinking outside of the box is. That might sound dumb, but like when I like release music, my first thing isn't, just released it on Spotify. Time to do a live stream.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's I gotta go hit the road, and maybe this is just an older, antiquated way of thinking, and maybe I need to adapt. But it's like my first thing isn't to go to outside of the box things to promote my stuff. It's going to basics, what I already know.
Right.
And so if you were to put me in that situation, I would not have thrived. It's like, oh God. First thing I did when I wrote music was pack up my fucking 4-door car and hit the road and played shows. You know what I mean? But
that's just not the world we live in.
That's all
anymore.
we knew,
and it's gone now.
Right. And that's all we knew, right? As a band, when we started this was, we started a little bit before COVID. So we thought, hey, this would be cool. We'll play, shows around, New Hampshire, and maybe we'll play a bar. Like we didn't know what it was going to be, but then it was like, boom, none of that. And we didn't, again, when I was and luckily for us, and I'm not trying to toot any of my own horn, but I'm a professional marketer for my entire career. And so, but what I'm saying is, I have a lot of skill sets that I use for my everyday work,
right?
That translated very well to what we were doing. And I think, I usually don't, I just bring it up because I think it's, and it's not just me, like we had to work together, it was like, hey, this is a team effort. We need to start, it was content. Like we had to have content.
Yep.
And it's a team effort. I, brought ideas to the table. Everyone brought ideas to the table. I had some execution techniques that I knew about. We have Adam, who is pretty much taught me Instagram, which was fucking awesome, because before Promise Game, I didn't have Instagram. Like I had it for, I used to use it to edit photos because it was like the iPhones didn't have the cool filters.
Right.
So I would
Back-
literally
back
just
in-
use it.
Back
Yeah.
in the early days.
Right. That's the only reason why I had an Instagram. And then so like we were able to really kind of put all our collective kind of social media, marketing, whatever it was, to kind of help build that brand in a digital world. And we just, like I said, we just grinded. And luckily we were able to get a couple good opportunities in the beginning that were able to kind of just snowball into the stuff that's going on.
Let's take you back there then. Like since starting the band, you've released, it won't be long now, your EP
Mhm.
with your cover of If It Makes You Happy. And then less than 6 months later, I believe that's right.
I think 6 months ish.
Releasing a slew of new singles.
Yes.
What was the process like from going from your first EP to new releases? Where did that land?
Yeah.
How did that play out even in your head?
So like a good example is our very first song is that we released was If It Makes You Happy. We released that first, and that was on like January 15th. And again, we didn't know anything about really strategy or the best way to do things. So the next week we released another single, and then the week after that we released another single, and then we released the EP. And if you look at the songs that like the very first, so now If It Makes You Happy is showing up as like a popular release on Spotify and Apple Music, but only because it's gotten a little bit of afterlife, right? It's being seen more now that we're getting more followers and more listeners. People are seeing that. It's one of the lowest streamed songs we have. And that's our oldest song. Now, if you look at Any Reason to Party, which was the single that we did right after
that
the
was
EP.
your first single off.
That was our first single, and we went hard on it. Like we grinded. We had a small marketing budget to work around. We wanted to do a really cool video. We ended up doing a 4K video that we got a huge help from some friends that basically did it for nothing, and it was it just really worked. And we were able to bring in a featured artist that we all loved, like as like growing up in New England, from Lions, Josh Herzer. It wasn't a screaming song. And when we were like, hey, let's ask Josh, because he is a photographer, and our keys player Eric is a professional photographer as well. So they kind of like knew each other a little bit. And I was like, let's just ask him, screw it. And it was the best thing ever, because it turned into just such a cool, like, set your goals type, chants and screams, and 3 different people screaming that song in a pop punk band, which is really fucking cool if you ask me.
Yes, it is.
So like, and Adam's like, I've screamed my whole life. I used to be a screamer in a post-hardcore band with the one that played with Cheetos. Adam's not really a screamer, and his screams in that song to me are the best. Like, it's unbelievable.
Nice.
So
That's
it was
awesome.
so that was cool. So like, we really dug into that, right? And we put a lot behind that, and we got a lot of good momentum, and we were getting a lot of good exposure from it. So we were like, shit, we can't slow down. Like, we have to keep the content coming. We have to come out with another track. We weren't ready to do an EP for many of different reasons, including still COVID, right? Because we were getting into the fall.
Yeah.
And as you guys, I don't know where you're from, Bear. Where are you from?
Madison, Wisconsin. Why did I?
Okay, so we all. Yeah,
Did anybody, I was like,
that took you a little bit there, bub. But so we're all from colder temperature areas, right? So COVID, the COVID season for us was longer because we weren't able to be outside and going to outdoor dining and things like that, like Florida and the warmer climates. So
my entire life is almost COVID season. So
yeah. So and like, it was basically like, we have to do something, because again, we're not playing shows. And how are we gonna stay, like, at that point we had like maybe 300, 400, or no, we had like 1,000. We were going between like 500 and 1,000 listeners on Spotify, and it was fluctuating. And then we started noticing, like, as the time ticked, everything was dropping because we just weren't doing the greatest job of being fresh with our content, fresh with music, which, it doesn't mean you have to, I'm not saying you have to, like, or we have to release a new single every month or 2 months, but you got to stay fresh, right? To stay on people's minds. So that was kind of the idea behind the singles. Sleeping Weather was the next one. We did that in November. We were going to do it in October, but we started working with Discovered Magazine, and we wanted to do a bigger rollout with them. So we pushed that back, and that was really pretty much like our, hey, enjoy this, because you're not going to get much for a while. Because again, we were just going into, we were going back into hiding. We were still practicing, but with the holidays and things like that, it was just kind of time to take a little bit of a step back without losing your momentum. But we did that, and we were like, all right, we know we're going to be doing another EP, so let's make sure we kind of, again, keep the same idea, don't release it too late after November.
Right.
And we also didn't want to do a summer release because it's just not the best idea for smaller bands. It's very easy to get lost in the shuffle in the summer.
No, I completely agree. Summer is like, summer is when every band wants to go tour, but it's also the worst time for you to go
really
tour
is.
as a
The
small
gas
band.
is the most expensive, all that shit, dude.
Well, and everybody's touring, including big bands, so it's like you're gonna get shut out. Like, what's that, Ben?
Yeah.
Swept under the rug. Like,
Yeah,
there's a mindset of like, you know what? If you're gonna do tours, spring and fall.
Yep. That's what we're doing. So we have our weekender coming up. So that was another thing, right? So as we're kind of doing all this with the music and we're trying to stay fresh, we're really preparing for 2022 because we made it a goal to say, okay, by 2022, barring a crazy change in what's going on, we should be able to go out and do a run of shows, right? We should be able to play. And, like I said, we all have full-time jobs. The brothers have girlfriends that both have children. So there's a lot of responsibility throughout the band. And we kind of are selective about our shows. We don't want to, go play a Tuesday night to nobody. Not saying that's a bad thing, but we rather just be a little more selective and pick shows that we know that we can do a really good job of helping another band kind of come to New Hampshire and have a really good show. That's more of our goal.
Especially when you are the hometown band, you can't just waste it. You know what I mean? Like, your goal is to make money as well, because being in a band, your hometown show is where you have the possibility of making money, because tour you're not.
Exactly.
Let's just be real. But like for smaller bands especially, but your hometown one, you can't just waste it, you know. And
it's like you said, it's being selective, right? And it's not, and not saying, like, again, like, bands that go out there and play a bunch of shows, that's a bad thing. Like, if I was younger, I would totally do that. Like, if I was 25, 26, 27 and I was still young and married, like early marriage, I would totally run around and play a bunch of shows. But that's not where we're at right now, so we're just being kind of, and it's the same thing with our recording too. It's the same thing with our music too. Like, we have a plan around the releases of our music and what we want to do. We're actually going to be, after this EP that we're coming out with in May, which is kind of our big step forward, if you ask me. Sleeping Weather is actually on that. We decided to keep that because after we were done with it, we're like, oh my God, dude, Sleeping Weather just literally fits perfect. We didn't even know it was going to fit that well. But it just fits perfectly into kind of the story that we're telling with the album. It's not a concept album or anything like that, but there's a general theme throughout it. There's very Wonder Year-esque, lyrics being across all different songs and things like that. Bigger sounds, much bigger drums, mallets everywhere, crazy stuff, like just bigger music. We have a new guitar player, new lead guitar player that's, adding that next layer of kind of harmonics and melodies. So it's a big one for us. It's kind of what we've been working towards. But after this, it's LP time. So that's also, that's also in planning stages right now. Yeah.
Very excited to hear the new EP.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So you also run a Spotify playlist and radio show on Squatch in the Pit, both called Defend and Support the Scene. What made you want to start doing those? That
was at the very beginning, one of the things that, and if any musicians out there that are watching, follow bacon.bits on Instagram. The guy, he's a metal dude, but he's one of the best music marketers that gives free tips all the time. So this was a tip from him. It was just like, hey, a great way to not only start generating more engagement with your Spotify profile, but it's also a great way to connect with bands and start tagging bands and getting them to kind of notice you and say like, oh, who's this Promise Game band that just posted that they added me to this playlist that has 400 likes. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool. You know, I didn't even do anything. They just kind of added me. So that's cool. So that's what it was. It was a networking tool for me, kind of as the person that's more in charge of that for the band and what we're doing. It was just a way for us to kind of, like I said, you know, without being able to play shows, network with bands, connect with bands, get ourselves in a good spot to not only help with our streams and our Spotify and all that type of stuff, but I said it today on my show. I did like the first time ever. It's funny that you asked me this question because for the first time ever today on my show, I did like a PSA because all these bands keep like kind of reaching out. And then after our Calling All Captains announcement, that was like, oh man, that's really cool that you guys, for your like 5th show, you're playing with Calling All Captains. And I'm like, it's because we had Goalkeeper on our podcast back in like June of last year. We just reached out to Goalkeeper and we're like, hey, we're doing this podcast. We get like 50 views on YouTube. It's not anything crazy, but if you'd like to come on and talk with us and just, you know, we can learn more about your band and just chat, that'd be great. We had some really awesome bands come on that we've connected with and now are getting these amazing opportunities to play with bands like Calling All Captains. That's all because of, you know, the podcast, the radio show, the playlist. That for me, it's part of our marketing strategy.
Absolutely.
It's the best way for us to network. It really is.
It goes back into what Pat and I have talked a lot about on this podcast. You pour into somebody, they pour back into you.
Yeah,
like
big time.
And if they don't, run.
Yep.
Like
yeah.
Like that's like, it's like any relationship, music and being in a band. It's no different. Like people are like, this is
it's okay. Spot on. Dude.
This is why I like laugh and hate anytime I'm like, yo, you know, New Music Friday or whatever, and then someone just comments, check out my band, there's a link.
Yeah, that's
and I'm like,
no.
That's why what you haven't done anything to earn it. And I'm not sitting here saying like, hey, I'm like this big guy, like I gotta earn my. You have done nothing to put yourself out there other than hit copy paste.
Yep.
You put no personality behind it. You haven't put forth any effort into getting to know who you're even commenting on. Like you haven't even gone down and been like, ooh, who are these other bands that are commenting links?
Yep.
Like, ooh, it's like you're not a part of the community.
No,
you're making.
And it's also and it's like it's just spam. And
that's all it is.
The three of us have a very like we've seen that just come in like droves, right? And it's like, you know, I'm not even asking you for your music right now. I'm saying check out this band, they're really cool. Like don't just start spamming the shit out.
And if someone genuinely,
I'm gonna delete your comment. I delete those comments
right away. And if somebody asks for music links, right? Like, hey, specific, right? Okay. Mine isn't, hey, just check out my band. Mine is, oh, like, dude, I love this idea. I'm gonna copy this idea. But also while you're at it, you said, here's my link. Feel free to hit up my DMs with more of your stuff.
Yep.
And I'd love to connect. Like, and you just leave a little message.
Yeah. Like personalized too. Like, or if like somebody's like, hey, I'm in a really bad like mood right now. Send me like, you know, and it's like, it's just like spam. And like, I don't even do those. Like, I'm more like looking, like if people want to hear music, like, hey, I'm looking to check out a new band. I'm like, hey, Mike, how you doing? This is Promise Game from New Hampshire. Check us out. You know, let us know what you think. Like I'm actually putting a little bit of effort into
just a little, you know.
Yeah,
I think,
and then like he said, it's even deeper ways. You know, you got to go even more than that.
One of my biggest pet peeves that we get constantly, and I'm sure that like you've gotten it on like Defend and Support a bunch, is just when I'll get DMs on Instagram and stuff, and it'll be a band. They won't say anything other than maybe if they say something, it'll be this is right up your alley, or like,
I just got one.
check this out, you're gonna love it. And like it's like, and I'm not gonna lie to you, every single time you send that, I don't love it.
Right before the show, I got one.
And the thing is, though,
right
like, the difference, and Bear always never understands how I do it, or how I continue to have the capacity to do it, but I still give him the opportunity. I won't delete it. I just have a very automated response back. Like, if you're interested in being on the playlist, click the submission form in our by clicking the link in our bio.
Yep.
You know,
I mean,
and
that's
just,
what they deserve. That's what they
and,
deserve if that's
like,
all they're gonna do to you.
I don't give any heart, I'll give any emotion back, because it's like, you didn't even take the time to like say hi. Like,
Yeah.
you were just like, hey, guess what, bud? You're gonna fucking love me.
You're gonna
And it's
love
like,
this.
okay, like, and one of the things that me and Bear have talked about, and we're actually talking about today earlier, and we're gonna make a sticker about it because I fucking love it. There's no such thing as bad bands, just bad attitudes. Now, Bear, explain what that means.
Okay, so there's no such thing as a bad band, it's just bad attitudes. I have heard shitty audio sounding music with more heart than I have sometimes like great audio sounding music, and they're douchebags making it. Like, the whole idea behind the elitist of, oh, I'm only here for the good bands, like, it's an entire opinion. And if you don't understand how opinions work, go read a dictionary. If you don't know what a dictionary is, get a thesaurus and work your way forward. Like,
Just go. If you don't know
like,
what that means, Google it.
Google it. Google me,
and
bitch.
all I'm saying is, like, if you think your opinion has any merit to what somebody else is doing because they want to do it, you're the problem.
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
So there's no such thing as a bad band, just bad attitudes. Like, I've worked with bands that sound amazing. They're dicks.
Yeah.
I don't like them anymore.
Yeah.
I've worked with
Like,
bands that sound like, and this is no insult, just I don't like them, so I think they sound like garbage. Sweetest dudes ever. I will book them. I will book them every freaking time,
and
just to hang out with them. You know what I mean? Like,
there's also like that. There are some bands out there that just aren't the best. They're just not the most talented, and that's fucking okay. But they're super fucking nice, and they're gonna bring every friend that they've ever fucking met. They're gonna do everything in their power, because it's not about your quality as much as it is about your passion, you know. And that's what we like. That's what we're trying to do for Unsigned Pop Punk. It's like,
it's cool.
I want to give an opportunity to every single person, especially if you have if you love your craft so much that even if it's bad, you're like, I want to show it to you, you know. Like I'd rather work. Go ahead. I'd rather work with an artist that's super nice and willing to put in tons of work than somebody that's really like, that has an incredible sounding record, but's an asshole.
You
know, like,
absolutely.
That thinks they're better than everybody else. Like,
hands down.
That's
hands down. And
there's no room for you in the scene.
No.
This is the only thing that I'll ever gatekeep. The only thing I will gatekeep are gatekeepers. I'm only like, the only thing I'm intolerant of is intolerant people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't want you here. You're not welcome here until you understand what a fucking opinion is.
And then you can come back.
And then you can come back.
Come back.
Just come on back.
Love to have you wrong. Once you're willing to be cool.
Here's the fun fact. I was a dick. When I first started out in music, I thought I was gonna be the shit. I thought I knew how it was gonna go. I thought I knew what I was doing. Like, oh fuck yeah, we're gonna play arenas, we're gonna sell out. Like, all of it. Oh my god! Like,
that reminds
me.
An asshat. Do you want to hear a funny story that literally it'll be 2 seconds? So our keys player, I keep saying our keys player, Eric. Eric's my best friend. Like, has been for, other than my brother and my wife, my longest time friend and one of my best friends. So he one day was just with his friend or whatever, and she saw a picture of me, and she was like, "How do you know him?" Right? And I saw, at this time I'm like 17 years old. And she's like, "How do you know him?" And she's like, "That's my friend Colin." And she's like, "That's the dickhead that was like being super mean to everybody and kind of just rude at Curly's Coffee on Friday night. His band was pretty cool, but nobody fucking likes him because he's a dick." That was me back then. Like, when I was like 16, 17, I was like, just not like a good person. Like, I was just like, I thought I was the shit. and that was just a terrible way to go at it, especially in music.
Awful.
Yeah.
But the difference is like getting smacked, getting knocked on your ass. And
Oh.
going, you know what?
Yeah, that happened.
I'm gonna do it different.
That
Yeah.
happened. So like a year later, that's what happened. Yep. And
Yeah.
it was all, that was it. And I totally changed even as a person because of like it happened at a show. It was crazy.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was the opposite. Everybody thought I was a dick because I was super like awkward, quiet, and
Quiet.
anxious. And like, and everyone else,
just didn't
like,
them.
I would be short. I still, if I'm at shows and stuff, like I have a hard time. Like if somebody's talking to me, like I don't know what to say. Like, and like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm just like, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll even do that. Be like, and they'll be like, hey, oh yeah, you know, talking stuff. Oh, I fucking love it. Like, I love your band. Love like blah blah. I love what you're doing. Like, thanks. I'm super awkward, so I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't know what to say. So,
Yeah, so,
I'm gonna go because I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. My hands.
I'm not a dick. I'm just like socially
I'm not a
awkward.
dick. I'm just
socially awkward.
socially and
That's our
unacceptable.
next sticker.
Oh, that's a good
I'm
one.
not
too.
a
You
dick,
guys
I'm
are-
just
you guys are gonna have these
socially awkward.
piled up.
It's gonna be
Yes.
amazing. All right. So one last thing before we get on to our
Yeah.
next, before we go to break and get on to our next
Yeah.
segment is
Yeah.
if you could give one, if you could give one piece of advice to our listeners that you know now that you wish you had knew when you were first starting out, what would it be?
Definitely just like how to effectively get your music out there, right? Where to focus. We just did a lot of things at first and kind of didn't really, kind of hone in on what was going to be the best way to go about it, especially in a digital world, which it still is right now. Like at this point, it's just
it will be
the
forever.
music world. Yeah, like the music world's not going to change. Like
Until it
obviously there'll be
changes
shows,
again.
right? Until it changes again, right? But it's just kind of like I wish I just knew. I wish we had gotten kind of that a better head start, or I wish we had kind of just like caught our groove a little quicker. And that just might be because of what I do in my everyday life. I have higher expectations for myself. So I think it's just, again, I wish it didn't take so long to do a podcast with a bunch of bands that not only did we get to kind of meet and hang out with and become friends with, again, open up that network a little bit. I think it's really, and I pretty much advocate this now, just like go to a show and talk to the band and literally say, next time you're in town, we'd love to play. That's how I got Driveways, like a band that everybody wants to come to their town to play this tour with us, because I went up to them at a show that I wasn't playing at. And I just was like, we're doing this and I want you guys to come with us. And they were just like, okay.
And you said something and I don't even think you realized it. But
Probably not.
He was at a show that wasn't playing.
Yeah.
I go to a lot of those.
Get the fuck out of your bedroom.
Get to the fucking
and
gig.
go watch a show.
Yes.
Like, you do not have to be on the bill to support the music scene.
Nope.
Get
And you
out
don't
of
have
your
to be there all
scope.
night either.
No,
You could
just
you
show
can-
up, pay your $10 fucking at the
Yeah.
door, buy
And
a
say hi.
t-shirt if you even want to.
Yep.
You don't even have to see the headliner. You already gave him your money.
You're there.
Like, let's be
You're
honest.
supporting. Like not everybody
like,
has all the time.
You're
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
and
did
people
you just-
sit here and bitch
Nobody's
about
just said this.
there's no scene. There's no scene.
Yeah.
Why isn't there any scene? Why is nobody coming to my shows? When was the last time you went to a fucking show?
Yeah. That wasn't a big one at like
Yeah.
the House of Blues.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you go,
that's the thing. Is like we've talked about
We've
this on
said this so
podcasts a
many
lot.
times.
We say this all the
It's a
time.
hill I die
It's like
on.
go fucking spend $5 at some fucking dive and go hang out with your friends. You don't
Seriously.
have two fucking friends. You can't go
And
that'll
guys,
go to a show.
And listen, if you guys know anything about Unsigned Pop Punk, first off, you go to our website, unsignedpoppunk.com. You can find a merch tab. Okay. Click on that merch tab. Scroll down until you find the I think it's called the Summer Jams. That one's what we're still on right now. The Summer Jams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still got some of them.
Though buy it. It's like $5, $10,
Yeah.
something like that. Okay. Here's the thing. Those bands are playing shows right now for anywhere between $5 and $10.
free.
Those-
We have a show with Driveways and Goalkeeper, two of
Free.
them on our tour that are fucking free.
Free.
And those are
Free.
right
And
there. There's
these-
two bands off of that
Off of
compilation.
it.
Yep, that's why I said it.
It's
That's why I
not
said it.
hard. It is not hard to put your money local.
We just want you, bands want you to come and share the experience.
Yeah,
and if you want to buy a fucking shirt, buy a shirt. If you don't, thank you for coming.
And that's just
Thank
it.
you.
Most bands do not even give a shit how much you're spending at the merch table. They will give you something for free just to that because you're there. Now, I'm not sitting here asking to say go ask for free shit, but it's like I can't tell you how many times someone's come up to me and be like, "Oh man, I'd love to buy a CD, but I don't have any money." I'm like, well,
do you know what I do? Yeah, and I do the same thing. So I've had a lot of times where I generally like to be at the merch booth just to meet people, which is really fun for me. I just like to meet people and talk to people. So I've had, in the last 3 shows, I've had this happen twice, where somebody comes up and says, "Oh man, I really wish I could buy that shirt. I like it, but and we're right next to Driveways. I just spent all my money except for $5 at the Driveways booth." And I'm like, "Give me the $5, take the shirt. I don't care. Like whatever." The fact that you want to buy the shirt, don't ever turn down somebody's money ever. Like you can make up the $15 that that you just lost there very easily, and the benefit, that person, now you've had that awesome connection, and they're going to tell like anytime they wear it, "Hey, I like that shirt. Yeah, band let me have it for $5 when it was 20. Isn't that cool? Like seriously, that shit, like that's you have to think about that. It pays
more
shit.
dividends than actual money.
And why would you not want somebody to wear your shirt?
Yeah.
That's fucking
not only
cool.
that, right there. Just see that band. That band's selling their shirts for only $20. Man,
yeah,
those guys fucking rad. Those guys are rad.
Yeah, we try to keep stuff. We do super high quality merch, and we try to keep it affordable. We literally try to get it to we have Bella Canvas shirts that cost us a certain amount of money. We make almost no profit, and we don't care because we would rather you support us by just wanting to wear our shit. And the best thing ever, no joke, I love this, the best tag I think Promise Games ever had. Driveways had a show right down so Driveways is local to us too. They're in Salem or Methuen or Salem, Mass, which isn't too far from where I live and where we practice. It's only about 40 minutes. So they're very much in our local scene. They were playing their sold out show of a 5-year anniversary for the repeat. It sold out like very quickly. And we got tagged on Instagram and Facebook by somebody that we had no idea who the hell they were, but I met them at one of our shows and sold them a sweatshirt of ours. And they tagged us in like this awesome picture with all their friends in Driveways being like the best night ever. And super thanks to Promise Game, go buy their merch, like from somebody we don't know. And that's the type of shit that's more important to us. Like that people actually want to go wear to a Driveway show, want to wear my fucking sweatshirt. That's awesome. That's awesome. So fucking cool. That's so cool to me.
That's a perfect way to end this segment. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Hey, Jeff. Oh, gosh. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. I wanted to tell you really quick about a bunch of new merch we got in. We got these super cool sweatshirts. Got stuff on the back. We got these new hats in. Oh, man, they're so freaking warm and comfy. We even got these cool shirts. These shirts are cool. All proceeds go back into helping us be able to support up-and-coming bands, so be able to do this full time. So everything is super helpful. We got these really cool bandanas too. Check them out. www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Link will be in the description below.
And we're back. Thanks again for sticking around. Guys, this has been Colin with Promise Game. Colin, once again, thank you so much for being here, dude.
Thanks for having me.
We got the music stuff out of the way. We got the story stuff out of the way. And quite frankly, this is really fun. I love when
I've had a blast.
This is awesome. I love when we not derail, but when we just like get heart into it, dude. Like
flow.
I love this. Like, flow. Yeah. That's gonna go in the podcast description. But
now it's time to get weird.
Let's do it.
Bear has created some weird things.
I have.
Oh, I love
normally. Okay, so first off, let me introduce the segment. If you haven't heard of the segment before, it's called the Obscure Questions segment.
Yes.
This segment is about obscure questions, and normally it's about food because I'm hungry when I write these.
I'm starving.
But you've been doing so good, Bear.
I've been trying to be intentional. So here we go. Question number 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me paint a picture for you.
Let's do it.
Magic exists, but it has to be somewhat realistic. Like it has to kind of be grounded in reality.
Okay. Yeah.
For example, like we have principles like gravity, or mathematics. Like we have these like,
so it's like today's magic.
Physics. Yeah, today's magic. What are some basic rules or principles that you think would come with magic?
Nobody should let anybody like fly, make somebody fly. Like no, you should never be off your feet. Like because to me, I don't mind heights. I don't mind whatever. But like all of a sudden, if somebody was just like, I don't like you, boom, and like throw you up in the air, fuck that. That should be against the rules. That should be against the rules. Like that should be bylaw. What else? I actually don't love Magic, so this is a great question for me because I'm like one of the dudes that's never seen a full Harry Potter. Or like I just don't like Magic. Like what Lord of the Rings, is that Magic too, right? I think that's too magic-y for me. Maybe no,
not a whole lot of
maybe I just don't like that series. But
yeah, there's
I
mean,
also
there's like wizards, but
yeah, okay, that's probably why. Yeah, kind of.
They don't like
but
cast spells or nothing.
Nope.
We're
yeah, nobody
diverting.
should be able to like. Well, okay, nobody should be able to turn anybody into anything off a whim either. Like,
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
don't they do that shit in Harry Potter?
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, now you're an owl. No, fuck that.
I don't know.
Like, you can't just go up to somebody and shoot him in the leg and be like, now you're shot. You have to go to jail.
I
Right?
did this to you against your will.
Right.
Yep.
Anything against your will should be outlawed.
Yeah.
In Magic.
Mhm.
In Magic, modern Magic. Again, any against will. No, that's it. And other than that, whatever. Have at it.
Okay.
well,
Whatever.
I would also say like you can't anything that's basically like a law now. I would say
Okay, so
for the most
outside
part,
of that,
like
all right.
you can't because like you can't just create fucking money. That's that's
Yeah.
fucked up, yo.
There's a
You know,
lot of things you shouldn't be able to do with fucking
Yeah.
Magic.
Right, like, and
all
if you made yourself fly, like at what point do you have to have a pilot's license so that way you can communicate with your craft?
I
Or,
would say
yeah,
that
like-
you should probably have to have like whatever flying license, whatever.
Dude,
kind-
at this point, Magic is sounding like it's a whole different like degree.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know,
so
it's
like
a-
Magic would be fine in the modern world. You just have to play by the normal rules,
By
and
the
then there'll
rules.
have
Play by the rules.
yeah, and then there's gonna have to like maybe you learn the rules that need to be added after the mistakes have been made. Who knows?
So Magic lawyers exist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright,
Oh yeah.
awesome,
Like
dude,
that's
awesome.
there will be
These are
like
great
there will
answers.
be a whole different type of government just for like
yes. The Magic Committee.
laws.
Okay, so now that we've
Yeah,
talked
the
about
MC.
Magic, let's get a little more grounded here. Okay, using your knowledge of mathematics,
Which is
if a
little.
train, fair enough.
Uh-oh.
If a train was going 55 miles per hour to the east,
Yes.
and a wind was blowing 55 miles per hour to the west, what color would you paint the train?
Is it weird that my favorite color is powder blue?
Nope, that's
No.
sick.
Okay.
It's just
Awesome.
like
Yeah, just with a
let's
stripe
go.
of fucking pink on the side, not
like-
a razor, just like one line.
Yeah, but like if you
Ooh.
didn't do the stripe on there, if that train's going fast enough on a nice
It looked like
on a
Tron.
nice day,
It'll
it might be invisible.
Mm,
Oh.
true.
Which brings me to my next question.
Yeah, which would be cool just seeing the strip.
Oh yeah,
That's
it'll
even
just be a
fucking cooler.
fucking just pink strip, just like speeding across. Like what the fuck is
That's
that?
like the next
What's
natural
that?
phenomenon. All right. Do you know how we came up with a calculation for pi?
No, I don't. I feel like I should though. I feel like I've learned it at some point.
Bear, before you figure that, because I'm assuming you know, or
Yeah, I was gonna say,
something,
you
but like,
better know.
why? What's with all the math today? That's fucking weird.
Came
I
on
watched
the
a video
wrong
a couple days ago.
episode.
Got sassed, like,
Oh, okay.
I
got
didn't
a
do
little
well
high.
in math.
Got a little high.
That was
did a
probably
little
my
math.
problem. I didn't smoke in high school, so I
Okay,
probably
so
would have
for
way
the
better at
longest
math.
for the longest time to calculate the area of a circle, mathematicians. This is like for hundreds and hundreds
Yeah,
of years.
okay,
Predating
yeah,
the,
yeah.
like Renaissance, whatever. For the longest time, it was
Fucking bear.
I know it's great. They would try to take a circle and then make a square in that circle and then calculate that square.
Okay.
Then they would take that square and angle it, like twist it, and then calculate the measurement of that, and then calculate the measurement in that, and calculate the measurement in that, and it just keep
Until it
going.
became a circle.
until they try it. But here's the problem with that: you will never ever get like a circle. It's going to be sides, right? Always going to be sides.
Always.
No matter
Okay.
how you break it down, it's always going to be sides. So for the longest time, mathematicians would, that's how they would do it. And they spent years of their life. One dude apparently spent 25 years getting the precise accuracy up to like it was like 8 or 10 decimal points of calculating
Good for him, man.
decacon or whatever the name of the shape was called. It had over 4 billion sides.
What?
He calculated that, and then freaking Sir Isaac Newton like found the way to do like pi the way we have it now with he used like what's that triangle
What's
called?
pi? Is it
3.14
4, yeah.
remaining
Yeah,
whatever.
remaining. Yeah.
And it was basically you calculate like you divide the circle into quarters, then you take a quarter and you divide the quarter in half, and then you create a right angle triangle from that quarter, and then calculate the rest of it, and then you do the remaining and the remaining and remaining.
Can you imagine coming up with that shit?
Dude, he did it when he was bored.
When he was bored.
Yeah, fuck him.
Here's the kicker. It was
You know what I do when I'm bored?
plague.
I
He
take
was
a fucking
isolating.
nap.
He was isolating himself because the bubonic plague was happening.
Oh,
and he just started like playing with a couple different mathematical theorems.
So wait, the plague gave us pi?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Isn't that insane?
That's a good band name, or that's a good like song name. The
Plague gave
us
us
pie.
So yeah. All right. Pat, take the last question.
Well,
awesome.
shit. I guess mine is almost like very like kind of almost fitting with it, but like
Hopefully it's not a equation because
it's not math. It's just
Okay,
personal
good.
preferences, man. What's the sexiest astrological sign?
probably Gemini, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gemini.
Nice.
Wait, shit.
was
What's
the
my
goat.
wife's sign? Shit, I don't know my wife's
Oh
sign.
shit! Don't let her fucking.
Yeah,
Don't let her
don't
fucking- Don't
I don't
listen to
I
this
don't
part.
think she's what's a
I don't
what
know.
month is that?
And that's
I don't
the
know
thing
why,
is,
I just
I
feel
don't know
like-
I
anything
think it's
about this, but I was
September.
just hoping you were gonna
I
say
don't know.
Aquarius, and then we could date.
I'm a Pisces. Aquarius and Pisces go so well together. What personality?
Pisces,
What's the
the sign
person?
of the
Hey,
goat.
by the way, this is my wife. The personality of a Gemini is playful and intellectually curious, which is totally her. But I believe it's not June. So, whatever. Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, I would say Gemini.
I like this isn't to diss anybody who believes in astrology, but I saw this really funny comedy skit where this guy was like, "Do we have any astrology fans in the room?" And this one girl was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, good, because I'm a Pisces." And she goes, "I knew it." He goes, "Really? You knew it?" He's like, "Yeah, because I was lying." he goes, "I'm actually a Sagittarius." She goes, "Oh, a Sagittarius makes a lot of sense." He's like, yeah. Well, I lied about that one too. He's like, "I'm a Leo," and she goes, "That's what a Leo would do." And he's like, "At what point do you just stop believing?"
Keep going.
Yeah, that's really funny though.
I have
like,
never even like read my what do they fucking call that? What is it?
Horoscope.
Yeah, shit, dude. That's stupid. I should have known that.
It's all good.
Come on.
Well, I,
I
mean,
knew that. I was just brain farting on that.
Well, first off, if you've ever like read your horoscope, yeah, why would you know
yeah,
that it's a horoscope? You know,
not my
I don't-
thing.
mine isn't. I don't like necessarily believe or not believe that. I guess I just don't think about it. It's not a thing.
Yeah,
thing.
I've
Absolutely.
never. It has
I've-
never come
as-
across my mind ever.
With all things, I believe there's truth to it.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, there's
yeah.
like, I think there's variations of truth in a lot of
In
things.
a lot of things,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
everyone's
everything.
gonna have their own personality traits at the end of the day, and there's gonna be a lot of similarities and differences across the board. So
100%. All right.
Well, that was
Pat.
a lot, and I think that is probably one of the most obscure questions that we've asked in quite some time. Normally
Love
it's
it.
2 to 3.
Love it.
But Bear just couldn't stop with his math. So we're
Hey,
gonna
I
move
learned
on
I learned some new shit though. That's pretty
right?
cool.
That's that.
Yeah.
I
Play
actually
gave
did
us
too.
pie.
And honestly, Play gave us pie is really fucking.
Play
cool.
gave us pie is cool.
It's cool to know that. So now we're gonna move on to the last segment of the show, rapid fire question segment. It has been updated, so this is pretty cool. You're one of the first few that
And-
get the updated.
Mhm. And it has to do with May the 4th be with you.
Oh, it
okay.
does. There
Just-
is
just
a
a
little
little,
May the
just a
4th in
little.
there,
Just
so
a
that
little
works
May the
out.
Oh shit! You're gonna make me get a Star Wars question wrong. Oh great.
I don't know. If you the rapid fire question, very simple.
I can sit here and I can like reenact the entire.
We're not doing Star Wars.
We're
We do
not
too
doing
much Star Wars.
that.
We do too much Star Wars. Too much Star Wars. Star
Too
Wars
much
and
Star
Taco
Wars.
Bell. This show could be just basically about Star Wars and Taco Bell. Okay.
I love that.
Rapid fire questions.
So,
You're going to speak from the heart, shoot from the hip. Whatever pops in your brain first, that's your answer. Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
You just
I
ate an
May the
enemy.
fourth not be with you.
I've only seen one Star Wars in its entirety. I'm the worst.
But have you seen a lot of Star Trek though?
A shit ton, yeah. It's my
Because
when I was
honestly,
when I was
here's
a kid, yeah, it was kind of always on.
I want to be honest. I like Star Wars significantly more than Star Trek, but Star Trek really does fuck though. Like
Oh yeah,
Star
Star Trek
Trek
fucking
Oh,
Star Trek's
Trek-
hell
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Star Trek, but
And-
like
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
love Star Wars more. But like
I don't know why
Star
I
Trek
didn't.
fucks.
Star Wars didn't get me for some reason when I. You
Could've
know what
been
it
the
was? My
toxic
parents.
fan base.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
no, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was my parents' fault. Like I never got exposed to it. I was really weird. I don't know.
maybe check it out. Maybe check it out as an adult now. You might like it.
Yeah, I probably should. Like I saw a recent one, and I've watched actually. I've watched I watched The Mandalorian, I watched the Boba Fett series. So, and I enjoy those. Like I don't dislike
Well,
them.
then
I
you
just-
should probably like see
I should
the
probably go
movies to like
back.
really understand like
yeah,
what's
know
happening.
what's going on. That's what my wife said too.
Fair enough.
All right, I fucked up your rapid fire. Go.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're
This
good.
happens all the time. Mario or Luigi?
I'm a Mario guy. I like the leader of the pack.
Somebody was the older brother.
Yep, I was. Yep.
I just like Luigi. Green. It's a good color. He's got
I mean,
a
I
better
bet-
mustache.
I was gonna say I bet he gets more chicks, but Mario
Dude,
gets.
he's a
shit done.
ghost hunter. Like, how can you not think that's fucking
it's
tight?
kind of cool. Yeah, but Mario gets Peach, bro.
Yeah, but he gets one peach. Luigi gets all the peaches.
Luigi gets all the peaches.
Oh, shit.
This is I'm stoked for this. You are old enough to be able to to do this, and I have
Okay.
faith in you. Don't let me down,
I
Colin.
won't.
Can you sing us the Bagel Bites jingle?
No. Shit. Oh fuck. I should know this. No, I can't. Fuck.
I will start singing it, and if it starts popping in your memory, I want you to start singing it with
I feel
me.
like such a failure.
All right.
Okay, go.
Pizza in the morning, pizza in
Pizza
the
in the evening,
pizza
at
at supper.
summertime. Oh, supper time, summertime. Pizza
When
at
pizza's
supper
on a
time.
bagel, you can eat
You can
pizza.
eat pizza anytime. Yeah, okay. I
There you go.
needed a little bit of help.
You got it.
Shit.
You got it.
Wow, that was
When's
a throwback.
I know. See, and like I
Holy
felt you had this. I
I
really
should
thought
have
you had
had
it.
that. Thank you for the help.
You're welcome.
We'll give it
Gwen
a C grade.
Gwen Stefani
Yes.
or Haley Williams?
Definitely Gwen Stefani. My first album ever was Tragic Fucking Kingdom.
Dude, it's
I
such
had
a good
her.
one.
I had that poster with the band being kind of small and her doing the Pamela Anderson type pose going. Fucking Gwen. She was my
Absolutely.
first. I think she might have even been my first celebrity crush.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, she was
Good,
great.
good
man.
question.
Yes. I'm big Gwen Stefani, especially like No Doubt Gwen Stefani time.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, I mean, I
it's-
don't know about the new Gwen and the banana shit. Like, I'm more of the Tragic Kingdom.
and she
Gwen.
was so tough.
Spiderwebs.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just so
She-
just just
yeah,
tough.
dude.
Loved
Fucking
it.
love her. Love
Hard
her.
shell or soft shell tacos?
I liked. So I'm gonna throw you for a little loop. I do both. I take a soft shell and I make the taco, and then I
Yep.
do a little like Taco Bell fucking
Yep.
open faced Crunchwrap Supreme style, and
Mm-hmm.
I fucking combo that shit, and I do both.
Like a
if-
taco Bravo, basically. You know,
Basically,
that's
um,
the correct answer.
that godson I was telling you about, that 10-year-old fucking taught me that shit last year. He was over at my house and we're doing taco night, and he taught me how to do that, and I'm like, wow, look at that. So that's how I do it. But before that, I was a hard shell guy.
Fair enough. I'm a big Taco Bravo fan. So
Love that.
final question: Sum 41 or yellow card?
Oh, you fucker. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have. Oh, was he listening?
He's listening now.
Love it. And he should hear this because this is important. You're gonna learn something. It's definitely Yellow Card for one reason. I have seen them so many times. It has never sounded the same. It has never sucked in any way. And I was able to see their farewell tour, and I effing cried like at the show. So that definitely Yellow Card.
Same thing the last time I saw them. I think they were on the last Warp Tour is the when not the last Warp Tour, but the last Warp Tour that I saw. Was 2017.
So amazing, dude. So amazing. Yeah. So amazing. But Sum 41 is like, that's kind of like impossible because Sum 41's so like they're so iconic, great. Right? They're and they're great. They're amazing. And they're still slapping like that. They're still fucking awesome.
Our final one is always like this almost impossible pop punk band question.
I love it.
Which one is it? You have to choose, and it's always like, well, this sucks. I don't know, but this one, I guess.
The best one to ask, if I were you guys, you should do it. I've never done. I always wanted to do it on my podcast, and I never got to do it. Blank or Newfound Glory. And I feel like if you ask that question to somebody that likes both of those, like either of those bands, they're gonna be like, oh shit, I might have to think about that, unless you have like a really big Blink head, you know.
We're doing Newfound Glory and Simple Plan.
That's impossible. I would have said no.
Yep. So far on the show we've done that. We've done Blink-182 and Green Day because
that's a tough one too.
Exactly. And then Fall Out Boy or My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, that one's, you know what's funny about that one? I've seen both of those bands, and I like the reason why I say that, I've seen a lot of bands, but those bands especially, the first time I saw them sucked so bad. It was awful, both of them. Like My Chem was bad. Like I think something was going on. I don't know if he was sick or something, but he sounded like shit. And then Patrick Stump was like, he had to have been sick, drunk, or high or something, because he also sounded like absolute shit. And the drummer was like out of whack. It was crazy.
Yeah. So when we're doing for those final questions, we try to like pit two bands that are like have the same exact fan base, basically.
Yep.
To make it an impossible choice.
Well, mine was a little easy today, but it was a lot harder than, like, if you said Yellow Card to anybody else other than like the top, you know, the big five, I call them, it'd be pretty easy.
Perfect. Well, that's it. You made it through the podcast.
Yeah.
That's the end. The only thing that we have left that we want you to do, plug your band, plug your brand.
Oh shit.
What's next? Where can everybody find you?
I think that, you know, just we're at Promise Game everywhere. On, you know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Our TikTok is not very active. You can check that out as well. We're a bunch of elder emos that haven't really dove into TikTok yet, but we're everywhere, like around there with at Promise Game. Check us out on Spotify, everywhere else, obviously, to listen to music. The big stuff is, you know, we got a bunch of really fun shows coming up. So if you live on the East Coast and you're listening to this, you know, go check out our socials and see if there's a show that you can hit up. And then, you know, I'll promote, you know, I don't want to promote my band too much. I would just say, like, definitely listen to that radio show that I have. Check out Promise Games, kind of see. It's squatchinthepit.com. It's super easy. And you can just like discover a shit ton of new bands. It's really cool. So, you know, I more want to just like thank you guys, for having me on, but doing what you guys are doing. It's super important to have people like you guys in this scene that we've been talking about. So, you know, I feel like we do a very similar thing. And I think it's, you know, it's very admirable that you guys spend your time, especially with kids and things like that, to do this shit for bands, because it's pretty fucking cool. It's really cool.
Well, we appreciate it, dude. Well, with that said, I got a kid. It's past my own bedtime.
Yeah, me too.
This has been another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. This has been freaking awesome. I'm about to toot my own horn. Love these obscure questions. These are fun as hell. Dude, Colin, you've been an absolute amazing host. Guys, fuck what Colin said. Make sure you do go.
I'm the host.
Colin is the host.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, you said,
let's go.
Colin, you're the host too.
You know what? Fuck it. Colin, you officially hosted this. You're going to do the intro in a second. No, you've been an amazing guest, apparently. Oh, God. Thank you for being here. But fuck what Colin said, and make sure that you do go check out Promise Game everywhere. They're fantastic. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
See
Later.
ya. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Thank you to those who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere else you stream your podcast. If you're in the position to help us grow, head over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsignedpoppunk. Let us know in the comments below who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thanks so much.